Good afternoon, everybody. It's Michael here with your latest update on supply and demand market report. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all doing great. Thank you to all of you who've been in touch. It's been inspiring and humbling, really, to hear from all of you how much impact this set of videos, the channel, the thread has been having on your trading. So I'm quite pleased with that. Before we get started, just a reminder that these are just my thoughts. It's not a recommendation to do anything in the market. Please be mindful. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm just a trader. So please be aware of that. I'd also like to start by thanking those who've been contributing to the thread on Forex Factory. To all of you, Haluk, well done, Sir Bleeze, all these guys. Trading Boy, well done, well done. All that hard work is paying off. Excellent work, sir. So thank you to all of you who continue to share your ideas and the feedback. Diddy, I do apologize for not getting to your post in time. I see that some of the guys have commented on your ideas, but thank you for sharing. I will do my best to keep up with it. You guys can be a bit fast sometimes. I'm not able to keep up all the time, so much going on. But thank you all for continuing to post, and I'm sure we will all continue to benefit from it. So let's get to the charts. We're going to go through the usual suspects today, starting with the US dollar and work our way down the list, looking at gold and oil and some of the bonds, some of the majors against the US dollar. If you guys wanted any particular markets to be reviewed, just drop me an email. We can look at it in the next video. As time goes on, we will be doing these videos much more regularly, especially as we are planning to launch the website officially in the new year. So some of you have contacted me about it. Yes, it is up. It's storehouseanalytics.com, but it's not officially open yet. There's still some work going on in the background. It's, I would say, about 80% done. So we'll look forward to that in the new year. So if you wanted to contact me, just storehouseanalytics@gmail.com. If you wanted to know about any of the mentoring programs that are available, or you wanted to ask a question, just hit me up. All right, so let's go into the US dollar. We talked about this level the last time we were together. I think we looked at this supply zone. Prices have now reached there. There will be a little bit of buying that comes into the market as we come down here, so let's be mindful of that. Ultimately, the momentum to the downside has turned up, but what hasn't changed is the trend. The downtrend is still in place because we haven't removed any supply zones yet. So looking at where prices are right now, if we go down just briefly down to the 4-hour chart, we can see that there has been some selling as the market week has started. If we are going to gain any traction in the selling, we're going to need to take these buyers out. So that's where prices are reacting off of now. If we do manage to take them out, then we will be left with a excellent looking structure supply zone up in here for us to look to short the US dollar, possibly buy the euro or any of the majors against the US dollar that's set up appropriately. So speaking of the euro, if we go look at the euro, which is pretty much opposite the dollar, we can see that the euro, this is a level that we've been waiting for prices to pull back to. There's a little bit of demand also left in there. This is the main level we're looking at. Right now it's sitting at this level here, which would tie in with the level in the dollar. I wasn't looking at this level just because of the way the structure of the level is. But again, because of the poor structure, not taking any set and forget trades inside there, waiting for confirmation trade in there. So if we go to the 4-hour, we can see that we are still well away from any sort of confirmation. We do have the possibility of the downside momentum coming to an end, which it actually has now. So we'll see if we can take out supply, which would be the more significant event before we actually start looking to go long the euro. So there might be other opportunities in the other majors. So let's take a look at the Aussie. Is there anything here to tickle our fancy? Well, the Aussie, as we talked about in the roundtable meeting last night, the Aussie has broken its upside momentum. It's creating supply now. We have demand down into these levels here. So any rallies up, I'd love for the low of this candle to be taken out, these lows to be taken out first, which will give us a better trade if we do rally back up. But for now, that's what we've got up in there. If we look up in the 4 hour, you'll see there's a rally based drop at the top there. So that may be worth keeping an eye on as we go forward in the Aussie. Looking at the pound has jumped up into a supply zone. We have another supply zone just above. What we don't have yet is a change in trend. We have a loss of upside momentum with lower highs and lower lows, but we do not have the removal of any demand yet. So bear that in mind if you guys are also looking at this level like I am. It's not the ideal setup we would like. It will be a pure momentum trade looking to join a pullback with room to go to a lower level. Okay, so that's what we've got. So for the day traders amongst us, the short-term income traders, the pound is possibly in play. New Zealand US has come up into a supply zone. It's been a rejection out of that level with sellers coming in, but we also have buyers immediately coming back up. The market overall is sitting in pretty much a range. If you'll see how they haven't really gone anywhere for some time now. So I'd rather be a buyer closer to the bottom of this range and a seller closer to the top of the range. So nothing really to do here. Now, Bitcoin, you guys know, I believe we marked off this level the last time we were together. Prices have come into it and have drifted down. We do have demand below us, so let's keep an eye on that one. So those are the levels to look out for in Bitcoin. There may be another level forming here as prices drift lower if they continue lower. For now, that's what we've got on Bitcoin. So good trade there for anyone who got that. Let's take a look at the indices. We'll start with the S&P 500, which just continues going up and up and up and away. We have demand below us. You could draw it like that. You could include the whole level. There's also a little bit of demand here that is currently being tested. We have demand here as well down in here. So this market doesn't have any supply above us. So we will continue to trade the demand levels until such a time that supply actually comes in. So we will continue doing that. So let's keep going. We'll go to, I don't know how many of you really trade the Russell 2000, but it's the weaker sister of all the US indices. You can see its all-time high is up in here, but it's been caught in this sideways action for several weeks. So for those of us who like range trading, this market has been profitable. Selling near the tops and buying near the lows. So well done to those of you who've traded it. For now, either you're waiting for prices to break out to one side or the other, or you're looking for shorting opportunities, given the prices are up here closer to the top of the range in the Russell 2000. Looking at the 10-year note, US bond market. So we are looking at a drop-based drop supply zone that's just been formed in the last few days. And in terms of demand, we don't have any demand until these levels down in here. So there's room to go. If we do get a rally up and continue down, there'll be room to go to these levels. We can see that the supply zones are beginning to hold. We have downside momentum that's been formed. So all the right things necessary for us to consider going short in this market. So that's the bond market, and we'll look at US dollar Canadian. So the US dollar Canadian is into a supply zone. I believe we marked this off the last time we were together. What has happened since then is we came in, we pulled back about a 1-to-1, maybe a little more, and now we've rallied deeper into the zone. So we've created some buying in here, which will be a challenge for anyone who does get short, unless we get a really, really good entry up in here that allows us the room to come down if the prices do drop. For now, the profit margin is quite tight, so it's not the greatest, it's not the most ideal situation. Okay, looking at the US dollar Japanese, we have upside momentum, uptrend, all of that. So we are looking for buying opportunities. So that's the demand we have below us. We are currently coming up to this level of supply. So any sort of shorting activity that goes on up in here will be considered counter trend. Possible if the trading plan allows one to take counter trend trades. Some of us don't take counter trend trades and will just be therefore waiting for a pullback closer to this demand zone for us to start looking for long entries. If we were allowed to take shorts, there's an area that we could consider using for a short in the US dollar Japanese. All right. Now going to US dollar Singapore. Some of you traded. I have students in Singapore. So we are looking at the daily chart that continues to go down. The momentum, let's take a look. Is it down yet? Is it broken yet? It's not quite broken yet. We'll know by the end of the day if it's going to be broken. It is still, very much into a downtrend. So it wouldn't be a sin to be looking for selling opportunities on smaller time frames, of which there are no quality ones. The last quality one was in here and it has already been hit. So right now it'll be a sit on wait for the US dollar Singapore. Taking a look at WTI crude, we've taken out supply. We're forming higher highs and higher lows. So we have the definition, the supply and demand definition of an uptrend. And we are looking at the impulse trade bin to go long at demand here. Anyone taking the counter trend short will be looking up there. All right, silver, shiny metals. So silver, big demand zone below, supply zone above. I would look into this on a smaller time frame, just make sure that we can draw that level more accurately. So those are the levels to watch. There's also supply up in here as well, but that's still far away. I won't draw that in just yet. So we are in a downtrend. We do have momentum to the downside, all of those things, at least on this time frame. So bear that in mind. We are looking for the impulse trade to be short and any counter trend longs if prices do come down to these levels. And looking at gold, similar picture. Gold is coming down into demand and it's got its supply zone up there. And it's also in a downtrend. So we'll see how those markets play out. I hope the video has been useful. Thank you to all of you for watching it. Please give it a thumbs up so that the algos can find it and share it with other people if you like the videos. And if you wanted any particular charts to be analyzed in these videos, just send me an email. Not too many, but just send me an email and we'll look at it in the next video. Thank you again to all of you for the words of encouragement and for continuing to share on the thread. So I look forward to speaking with you all again soon. Take care, trade well, and trade safe. Bye for now.